joining me today. We're going to make this beautiful multi-strand necklace. We're working with these great glass seed beads from Blue Moon Beads. They come temporarily strung on these bead hanks. So we're going to take them from this thread, get them onto the cord that we're using for the necklace, and then we're also going to see how to make a bail to hold this beautiful pendant here. This pendant is wood with a resin coating and it's spectacular. The color combination will go with any outfit. We're going to start our necklace by making the anchor to which all of the strands attach. I'm beginning with a 2-inch length of wire here. This is just a head pin that I snapped the head off of. I'm making a 90-degree bend. I'm just going to wrap it around my round nose pliers, creating a nice big loop. Now the loop, this is really just a wrapped loop that we're making. The loop tail, I'm going to go ahead and wrap around the base of the wire. And you just want to wrap it once or twice, and this is just to secure it closed so that none of the wires slide off of it. You want to take your pliers and just bend it in. Now I've cut two 24-inch lengths of tiger tail, and to attach them to the anchor that we've just created, I'm going to pass both lengths through a crimp bead, and then these lengths are going to then go through the anchor, and this is how we're securing the tiger tail to the anchor. Just pass the ends back through the crimp bead. Need to get both ends in there, just like that. Then we want to pull the crimp bead snug to the end of the anchor. Now using our crimping pliers, we're going to first crimp the crimp bead, turn them, and then fold that crimp back over, and that'll give us a nice secure hold. And I usually like to tug to check it. Now this is a 10-strand necklace, so I'm going to repeat this process 4 more times so that we have 5 pairs of strands. This is what it looks like when you have all 5 pairs of strands attached to the anchor. Now we're ready to begin stringing. I've taken my strand of seed beads here and I've separated it from the rest, and I need to clip off one end. Now this is the end that I'll be working with. I take one of my strands and I need to pass it through. I like to hold my fingers on top of the beads, and I pass the strand through a few beads at a time. And it helps oftentimes. I know it's hard to see, but it helps if you kind of pinch the beads and just continue pushing the tiger tail through. The tiger tail acts as a beading needle. And once you get as many strands as you can on there, you push the strands past the thread that they're on and down the tiger tail. These strands of seed beads are really just temporarily strung on this thread. Leaves you the freedom to string them onto any material that you want. Silk cord works, tiger tail works. I like tiger tail because it creates a nice beading needle effect that you can just pass through, but you can also use monofilament. And you continue like that until you get the entire strand on. So we're going to do that for all 10 strands. Before we get started stringing, we're going to add a bead cone to help hide some of the mechanics of the necklace. Now we're also ready to attach a portion of our clasp. I've selected this hook clasp. I just liked the way it looked with the finished necklace. And to attach this ring, I need to do another wrapped loop. Now to do so, I do a 90-degree bend again, and I take my round nose pliers, and again I make a loop over the pliers, switch the jaw, and pull the loop back around. Now once it's in this kind of a key ring position, I open up that key ring, and I take this ring of the clasp, slide it on, and I close up the key ring. Here I do a wrapped loop just the same as I did on the other end of the clasp. I take my pliers and I wrap that tail around. You want to wrap it around just once or twice just to get it flush. This is what it looks like when I finish stringing all 10 strands. And what I've done here is added a crimp bead at the end and then secured all of the beads in place with a piece of tape on each strand. We're ready to bring them together and attach the final end of the clasp. Now we're ready to pull that piece of tape off and secure each strand to another anchor that I've created. And we do this the exact same way as we did to start. Pull the tiger tail through, double it back through the crimp bead, and then pull the cord tight, and then use our crimping pliers to secure it in place. And the same way, we crimp once, and then turn the pliers and secure the crimp. We repeat that step for each one of these strands. So now we've finished attaching all 10 strands to the second anchor. We're ready to slide on our second bead cone to hide all of the mechanics of the necklace, and then finish attaching our clasp. So we do the same 90-degree bend again, snipping off that tail at about 1/4 of an inch, using my finger to make sure that the piece doesn't go flying. And I just go ahead and roll this over And I'm kind of hiding that inside the bead cone, and it'll keep it nice and secure there. I twist it open, and I add the second end of our clasp and close it shut. Now we're ready to work on our focal pendant. To make our focal point for the necklace, I'm starting with this wood pendant. It's wood and has a resin coating to give it this beautiful glossy finish. And I've cut an 18-inch length of tiger tail that you can see I've strung with the same seed beads, taped off at both ends, and finished one end with a crimp bead. Now I'm going to turn this into a bail to hold this pendant to the necklace. So what we do is we start by taking our tiger-tailed beaded length, and I pass it through a few times. I think this goes through about 6 times. And just continue to pass it through. And I can pass the other end through. And it's got room to slip through once more till it creates a bail. Now I take the 2 pieces of tape off, and this is where you really do kind of need all 10 fingers and perhaps even 10 toes. Take the tape off, and now we're going to have that crimp bead hold both ends, and I pass it through backwards, the free end through the crimp bead, and I pull taut. Now I need to secure that crimp with my crimping pliers the same way as we've done. Had good practice by now, and secure it in place. Now we can clip these extra pieces of wire off, or we can tuck them in behind the beads. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and clip them. And now we're ready to add it to our necklace. Now our pendant looks a little sloppy sitting here, but we gather up all of these loops, we bring them together, and we just go ahead and slide them onto our necklace. And that is how you get this beautiful focal point and this multi-layered seed beaded necklace.